What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring you my first impressions on Ace Attorney, Episode 1. This is my first time ever really sitting down and seeing the story and seeing the characters of Ace Attorney. I briefly discussed this in What I Will Watch for Spring 2016. And I mentioned that I know some of the references, like Objection and all that type of stuff. And I know the character's design because I've seen it here and there throughout the, internet. And because of this, I know some things. But I've never actually played the games, the visual novel, the 3DS games and stuff like that. I've never really played Ace Attorney. And I do know that the anime is based off of a game series. The thing is, I walked into this episode not really knowing what to expect besides it being like an attorney anime set in like, a courtroom. And I thought I was going to get like some form of Better Call Saul vibes or something like that. But it was actually completely different from what I expected, so I want to dive into that. So, my first impressions, like just to get brief to the first impressions, it was a very enjoyable and interesting first episode. As an anime only, that this is the first time I've ever really seen Ace Attorney, it was a very good introduction to what I could expect from the future episodes of the series, or the games, if I was to sit down and play the games. Now, I'm just going to say right now, when it comes to the people that have been fans of Ace Attorney for a very long time, fans of the games and stuff, I'm unaware of if this has been adapted properly when it comes to this first episode. I don't know if they're following it correctly, but according to what I found out is that Ace Attorney, this, series right now, this anime series, is going to be adapting like the first and second game, according to what I found out when I was doing the What I Will Watch for Spring 2016. So if this is correct, anyone could just walk into this, series and watch it and get introduced to the world of Ace Attorney. Now that I've said that, my overall impressions of the way the series presents itself, it was definitely something that I did not expect. I didn't expect to see this, like, goofy interactions throughout the courtroom, especially with how there was some certain, interactions between the characters, the way they acted, or how the villain was getting very nervous and scared and sweating bullets and just lashing out. It reminded me a lot of Danganronpa. That's exactly what those scenes reminded me of. Now, I don't know which series came first. I'm going to assume that Ace Attorney came first before Danganronpa, but don't quote me on this. Grain of salt and all that, I don't know. I'm not very familiar which one came first, so I'm not going to do anything. But when it came to the overall way the courtroom was kind of, handled when it came to some of the comedy scenes, it reminded me a lot of Danganronpa, the game. And it was really cool to see that type of style again. It's been a while since I've seen that type of style, and it's definitely something I don't think everybody's going to enjoy, of course, especially when it comes to that, because I feel like many that walk into this series, they're probably going to expect a very serious tone, a very, very serious tone, and I believe we can't really base our opinion completely on the entirety of the series, just on this one case we saw in this episode, because I feel like majority of this episode was actually just to give introduction to the characters and kind of some certain things that we can expect from the characters' quirks about their personality. But besides that, I feel like there might be some more grittier and darker stories in the future, depending on how the story presents itself, especially with the ending of the episode, when you saw like some form of promise being made, and apparently the person that was the boss of our MC is some form either injured or dead or something, because we see her like laying on the ground. So we don't know necessarily what's going on there, but there's a lot of questions I have. So back on topic to, my first impressions, I feel like this series, it's going to be misunderstood by some. I really do. People that are new to Ace Attorney, such as myself, I'm new, might misunderstand this series and expect, like I said, a very serious atmosphere. And I feel like we can't just judge it on this first episode that it's not going to have one. Because, I mean, look at Gintama. Gintama is a perfect example of a series that has some, wacky comedy moments and then shifts over into some very serious moments that really teach you some life lessons. And I feel like Ace Attorney most likely will do that because it has a big fan base. I know there's many that really love the series, and for it to, survive this long and, have such a nice and, good fan base, I'm assuming that, it's going to have a very good story in the future, so I am looking forward to that, and I am interested in courtroom type anime. It's stuff you don't really see often, and so can't wait to see exactly how it is handled. Now, besides that, let's talk about the animation. Let's talk about the decisions of the objection, or the way the courtroom was displayed with the animation style. I feel like the animation style, it's very wacky, but it suits the theme of this series. I feel like And now, I just am saying this, I don't know, because like I said, I haven't played the games, but the way the animation was done, it looked like it was taking something from the games. Like, they were trying to make the animation and art look very similar to how the games are, especially when you saw, like, the two characters versing each other in the courtroom and stuff, and you see their faces, like, have close-ups and stuff, and you see, like, the little bars coming like it's a versus match. It reminded me of something you would see in a game. So I'm assuming that the, people that are working on this, I think A1 is working on Ace Attorney. I think I'm correct on that. But I feel like the way they did that, it made it look like they were trying to just tip their hat to the gamers of Ace Attorney, like, hey, we're going to do, visual cues to the game, we're trying to build this for the game fans, but also trying to introduce more people into the series, which they're doing that for me. I'm getting into the series. So, yeah, I mean, the first episode of Ace Attorney, it was wacky, goofy, fun, very enjoyable characters. I like the character design. Music, I like the music. I don't know if the music is, a brand new soundtrack or if it's taken from the game. Usually something like this, depending on how it's done, they make their own new soundtrack, but I could be wrong on that. But still, this was a very good episode to introduce everything and get me into the series. So yeah, definitely going to stick around for the next episode of Ace Attorney. Definitely going to give another review on it because I had a lot of fun watching this. Go give it a shot if you've yet to see it. It was a wonderful first episode and definitely better than the other shit I have seen from today. Like, for instance, that one series called Indred, or whatever it's called. I'm just going to give my quick thoughts here because I don't want to make a video on it. That series put me to sleep. In my honest opinion, it was like, it was very meh, very average, and just, it's not for me. It's not. It bored the fuck out of me, and yeah, if I'm bored the fuck out of it, I just don't want to talk about it, so yeah. Anyways, you all have a wonderful day or not wherever you live. I want to get to working on that Tokyo Ghoul live reaction / review. Now, I don't have a lot of time today because, as you all know, tomorrow is my birthday, so I'm getting prepped up for, birthday plans and stuff tomorrow, so I don't have a lot of time. I'm going to try to do a live reaction for Tokyo Ghoul, but most likely there will not be a review today. Now, most likely tomorrow, maybe, but, I have to see how it goes with the scheduling. I'm just letting you all know. I do know Tokyo Ghoul's out. It will be coming. Just, I gotta go read it once I'm done with this video. So, yeah, you all have a wonderful day or not wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.